What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how we built this circle on the outside edge of this paver patio here. I'm going to go over the steps in the process of how to measure and make your cut so your end result looks great. The first thing you're going to want to do is find your center point. You can see right here we put the stake in the ground, and then we're going to pull a string off of this center point. We cut the string to 9-foot length, and that's because our circle is going to be 16 foot in diameter. So we want a 1 foot over dig on the outside edge. So right now we're going to paint a circle that's actually 18 feet in diameter. So that way we'll have enough base going past the edge of our pavers. And you just want to pull this string tight. Make sure that the loop, you don't want to tie it. I'll show you right here. We have a pretty big loop on the end, so it's able to just spin around the stake. You don't want to tie it so as you walk the rope ends up wrapping around and then your circle's essentially getting smaller. And this, you can see it's actually 3/4 of a circle, but the same process would apply if you're doing a full circle. You would just paint it all the way. Now I'm excavating out the area. You can see here I'm using my Kubota excavator for this. If you're doing a small circle, you could obviously dig the area by hand. It's just a little bit more labor intensive. You want to make sure you go down at least 9 inches, and that'll give you enough room to accommodate a 6-inch base, a 1-inch layer of the bedding stone, and then the pavers themselves. The next step is to compact the subbase. You want to make sure you hit the entire area with about 2 passes before you move on to putting your aggregate down. Now I'm getting the geostabilization fabric laid out. This is a woven fabric. One thing you want to make sure is that you overlap a decent amount your edges. I do at least a foot. And then this is our 3/4 clean stone that we're using for our base. I'm using the excavator to get it spread out. I'm using the bucket. You can see I have it flat there to try to smooth it out as best I can, but then you'll have to hit it with a rake afterwards to touch it up for sure. So the next step is to compact the base. We actually did this in 2 lifts. And what I mean by that is I put down about 3 or 4 inches, ran the plate compactor on it, and then this is the final about 3 inches of stone. And you want to run this plate compactor over your base from more than one direction. You could see we kind of went back and forth, and then I end up going around the circle a couple times. So now I reset my center pin. And what I did was I pulled a string off of the house and then a string where the edge of the patio is going to be. And that gives me the center point of my circle, being that this circle is connected to the patio. And I'm going to run my tape measure from the center and then mark out at about 9 feet. And then I'll know when I go to lay the pavers, I just have to get close to that 9-foot mark, and I'll have enough room to make my cuts and put the border in. Here we're getting a screening bed laid down. This is chipstone. You can see we're using the steel pipes in the level, and then we're raking it out. And then the next step is to lay your pavers just like normal. You can see that orange line there. Like I said, that orange line is actually the outside of the border. So when we put these pavers down, we just have to get close to the orange line. We don't have to pass it, because when we cut the pavers, they're going to be about 5 inches away from that orange line, and that 5 inches is the size of the border width. So we're getting ready to make our mark so we're able to cut our circle. The first thing you got to check is your center pin. This pin is the center of the circle. It's very important to make sure it's plumb both directions. You see we got a magnet level on it, checking it this way, spinning it over, and check it on this side as well, and it's good. And the reason why it's important for this to be plumb, because if it was at a plumb, when you pull your string to mark, you could end up with an oblong circle. Now I'm marking my pavers with the pencil so we can make our cuts. I use the same method with the string on the spike like I did in the beginning of the video when I marked out the excavation. And then I have a pencil tied to the end of it. Now, the only thing you need to make sure is the string that you're using doesn't have a lot of stretch, because otherwise you could end up pulling it sometimes harder than others. And again, you don't want to make your circle oblong. So if you have the string nice and taut the whole time, the circle will come out perfect. So after you make your mark for your circle, you want to go around and then look at your cuts. And what I like to do is, I don't want any slithers like this. You see, this is our line right across here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this one out. I'll turn this big one like this and then put this one in this area. So that way, that'll eliminate this slither. I'll show you here right now. And now I'll just remark it from here all the way across this way, and there's no more little slither. And I'm going to go all the way around the whole circle and check it for this, and if I need to rearrange some pavers, I will. So now it's time to make the cuts, and the way I like to do it is we just pick each piece up and we cut it on the IQ saw. A lot of guys will score it with the handheld concrete saw and then cut them all the way through with the concrete saw, or if they have an IQ saw, they'll pick them up and then cut it. The reason they do that is so each paver matches up with the next. So if I were to cut one on the line, and let's say I was slightly inside the line, and then the paver right next to it, you know, I cut slightly on the outside of the line, you would be able to notice the difference. But if you take your time, you cut it right on the line, you'll be fine. Here we're getting our edging in. You can see we're adding our 12-inch spikes all the way around. What I like to do with the edging around the curves is I put a nail in every other spot, so they're fairly close together. It's less than a foot apart. On the straight runs, we skip 2. And I just do that for a little bit of extra, you know, security on the edge. I know a lot of guys, I get comments too in the videos that we should be using concrete with the open grade, and the reason why I don't is because we haven't had a lot of luck with getting the grass to grow there. I don't know if it's our area. I mean, I've watched other guys do it. I've watched a Christian hardscaper. He does great work. You know, he has a little trick where they do like a slope and a divot, and he says it works out for him. You know, we've tried to put a pretty thin layer and we didn't have any luck. What I found is, as long as we get our dirt basically all the way up to this paver, right, and it's going to settle a little bit, but I also tamp it down around the edge here, and then we'll just scuff it up just a tad with the rake so we can throw some grass seed in there. And once the grass is established here and the dirt level is up to here, the pavers aren't going to move. The yard, the dirt and the grass and everything is going to hold them in place, and then the restraint is really just secondary. And these are 12-inch spikes, and even though it's in the open grade, you know, when they're 1 foot apart, this doesn't move out, you know, very easily. It's stuck in there. I mean, look, this is the edge here. I'm pulling on it. Can I yank it out of the ground? Of course I could, but it's going to hold the pavers in place like fairly well. You know, if people are coming out here and you're intentionally trying to kick a paver out of place, sure, you can make it loose, but just walking on it, and especially once that poly sand is in there and it's all glued together, you know, they're not going to move. So here's the finished product, guys, with the fire pit and everything. If you're interested in seeing the video of this entire project, I'll leave a link in the description below. As usual, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And stay tuned. I have quite a few projects coming up this spring, more paver stuff, more excavation stuff, and actually in some more oddball things that I haven't made videos of yet. So stay tuned, there's more to come. Thanks for watching.